Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 19, The Appearance of Sukadeva Goswami, verse number 20. Yedhyasanam Raja Kirita Jushtam Sadyo Jahur Bhagavat Parshvakama Navaidam Rajarshi Varya Chitra Bhavatsu Krishnam Samanuvrateshu. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. The sages said, O chief of all the saintly kings of the Pandu dynasty who are strictly in the line of Lord Sri Krishna, it is not at all astonishing that you give up your throne, which is decorated with the helmets of many kings, to achieve eternal association with the personality of Godhead. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Foolish politicians who hold political administrative posts think that the temporary posts they occupy are the highest material gain of life, and therefore they stick to those posts even up to the last moment of life, without knowing that achievement of liberation as one of the associates of the Lord in His eternal abode is the highest gain of life. The human life is meant for achieving this end. The Lord has assured us in the Bhagavad Gita many times that going back to Godhead, His eternal abode, is the highest achievement. Prahlad Maharaj, while praying to Lord Narasimha, said, O my Lord, I am very much afraid of the materialistic way of life, and I am not the least afraid of your present ghastly, ferocious feature as Narasimhadeva. This materialistic way of life is something like a grinding stone, and we are being crushed by it. We have fallen into this horrible whirlpool of the tossing waves of life, and thus, my Lord, I pray at your lotus feet to call me back to your eternal abode as one of your servitors. This is the summit liberation of this materialistic way of life. I have very bitter experience of the materialistic way of life. In whichever species of life I have taken birth, compelled by the force of my own activities, I have very painfully experienced two things, namely separation from my beloved and meeting with what is not wanted. And to counteract them, the remedies which I undertook were more dangerous than the disease itself. So I drift from one point to another birth after birth, and I pray to you therefore to give me a shelter at your lotus feet. The Pandava kings, who are more than many saints of the world, knew the bitter results of the materialistic way of life. They were never captivated by the glare of the imperial throne they occupied, and they sought always the opportunity of being called by the Lord to associate with Him eternally. Maharaj Parikhit was the worthy grandson of Maharaj Yudhishthira. Maharaj Yudhishthira gave up the imperial throne to his grandson, and similarly, Maharaj Parikhit, the grandson of Maharaj Yudhishthira, gave up the imperial throne to his son Janamejaya. That is the way of all the kings in the dynasty, because they are all strictly in the line of Lord Krishna. Thus, the devotees of the Lord are never enchanted by the glare of materialistic life, and they live impartially, unattached to the objects of the false, illusory, materialistic way of life. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Alexander was a king who ruled around 300 BC, 356 BC he took birth, and then he is considered as, in modern history, as one of the greatest kings. At 20 years, he ascended the throne, very young age. And then, very soon after he ascended the throne, he set out on a conquest all over the world. You would all have studied about it in your history books. And almost, I think, about 10 years or so, he was traveling all over the world, and from Greece up to northwestern India was all his kingdom. He had conquered all the kings in that vast expanse of land. And according to modern historians, Alexander never lost even one battle. So, very strategic, very tactical, very powerful king. And therefore, they call him Alexander the Great. And Alexander, in about 331 BC or something like that, when he was about 25 years old, he founded a city in Egypt. And this city which he founded was named after him. It was called Alexandria. And the city is there even today. Today it is, I think, the second largest city in Egypt. So that city is named after him because he was such a great king. And by 30 years he had conquered practically, the entire expanse of land from Greece up to northwestern India. You can imagine such a vast expanse. And but then he lived for a very short period. He died when he was about 33 years old. So hardly, very few years he lived, but achieved a lot. And that's why they call him Alexander the Great. And it's natural when a king is great like this and he has achieved a lot, there is a city named after him because his exploits are like that. And we see these kind of things everywhere. Even in our country we see. There is one district in Uttar Pradesh, Shahjahanpur. It is named after the king, Shah Jahan. Aurangzeb, there was one road named after him in Delhi until recently, of course. Few years back that was changed. So according to the exploits of the king, according to his the magnitude of his greatness, he may have a road named after him. He may have a village named after him. He may have a town named after him. Or he may have a big city named after him, like Alexandria. So these kind of things are not something which is unique to modern day world. Even in the Vedic times, there were great kings. There was one king who was an emperor of the whole world. He ruled over the whole earth in the Vedic times. And he was such a powerful king, such a powerful emperor, that no other king, even though he was his enemy, would dare to oppose him. All the kings, even if they were inimical or allies, they would voluntarily come and offer tributes, offer their taxes to this emperor. They were thinking was, although he is my enemy, better to silently go and pay the taxes rather than try to oppose him. There is no chance of my opposing him in any manner. So nobody dared to oppose him. Such a powerful emperor. And his name was Bharata Maharaj. And although he was so powerful, he was not a despot, he was not a tyrant. He looked after the citizens exactly as if they were his children. And the citizens also looked upon him as if he were their father. So it was a loving relationship. So you can imagine, beautiful, wonderful ruler, and the citizens also very happy, very peaceful under such a wonderful ruler, loving ruler. So, Bharata Maharaj was such a great king. He was the son of Rishabhadeva. Rishabhadeva is an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And his son, his eldest son, Bharata Maharaj, he was such a great king that because of his rule, The earth until that time, until the point of Bharata Maharaj's rule, was known as Ilavrita Varsha. And after Bharata Maharaj's rule, the whole earth came to be known as Bharata Varsha. You can imagine, some king is there, powerful king is there, he has got a road named after him. Somebody has got a village or a town named after him. Somebody has got a city named after him. And here is a king, emperor, after him the whole earth is named. And gradually, of course, with time, with the decrease in the Vedic culture, the concept of Bharatavarsha also shrunk and it has got reduced to what is known as India today. But even that is not a small thing. Imagine a whole country as big and vast as India with a population of 140 crore. The whole country is named after a king, Bharata. And we all call ourselves Bharatiyas. We are residents of Bharata, and that Bharata means it is named after King Bharata. So, King Bharata, he was such a powerful emperor that the whole earth and current India came to be named after him. So, there have been many powerful kings, like Alexander had a kingdom stretching from Greece to northwestern India. There was the Chola Empire, which extended up to or even beyond Afghanistan. The Maratha Empire. There are so many kings, so many dynasties who have held vast empires and ruled over great, vast tracts of land. So this is not anything ordinary. This happens from time to time. So, what is so special that Bharata Maharaj, after his rule, the whole earth came to be known as Bharata. This is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. The Srimad Bhagavatam says, As Arshabasyeha Rajarsher Manasapi Mahatmanaha Nanuvartmarhati Nripo Makshikeva Garutmataha. The Bhagavatam beautifully describes how great a king Bharata Maharaj was. Arshabasyeha Rajarsher. Arshaba means the son of Rishabhadeva, which is Bharata Maharaj. So Arshaba, or the son of Rishabha, Bharata Maharaj, was such a great emperor. Manasapi, he was Mahatmana, he was such a great personality. Manasapi Nripo Nanuvartmarhati. Even in the mind, even in their dreams, no king can even think of imitating Bharata Maharaj. Even if a king, Nripo, Nanuvartmarhati Nripo, even if a king thinks of imitating Bharata Maharaj, such a dream is like Makshikeva Garutmataha. It is like a Makshika, a housefly trying to imitate the flight of Garuda. Garuda is so powerful, he can jump and fly from the earth up to the sun. Can a housefly ever dream of even attempting it? A housefly or a mosquito? In fact, some of you who may be residing in multi-storied apartments will know that in multi-storied apartments, everybody wants to take a flat above the 7th floor, 8th floor, 9th floor, 10th floor. Why? Because mosquitoes cannot fly above the 7th floor. So, everybody takes a apartment on the 8th floor, 9th floor, you can open all the windows, and even in the best weather, you can happily sleep in your room, no mosquito will come inside. So, mosquito can dream only to fly up to the 7th floor. After that, it cannot dream of flying. Garuda, he can fly up to the sun. So, can a fly or a mosquito ever dream of taking a flight like Garuda? Impossible. So, Bhagavatam is saying similarly, no king can dream to achieve, to imitate, to walk on the path treaded by Bharata Maharaj. So what is so special about Bharata Maharaj? He ruled over the whole world. Okay, Alexander also ruled such a vast tract of land. And forget about modern history. Even in ancient Vedic history, there was Hiranyakashipu, who ruled not just the earth. He ruled the entire planet, the universe, except for Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. Everybody else was subordinate to him. Even Indra, even Swarga, even Naraka, even the earthly planets. Everything was controlled by him. The sun, the moon, everything was under his jurisdiction. So he had a bigger, vaster kingdom than Bharata Maharaj. But still nobody talks about Hiranyakashipu. The Bhagavatam is talking, Makshikeva Garutmataha. That even Hiranyakashipu cannot dream of walking on the path of Bharata Maharaj. So why, what is that special thing that Bharata Maharaj did, which no other king can dream of? The Bhagavatam says, Yo dustyajan darasutan suhrid rajyam hridis prishaha jahau yuvaiva malavad uttama shloka lalasaha. What was that special thing which Bharata Maharaj did? That unique thing he did, that path which he treaded, which no king, no emperor, no conqueror can ever even dream of attempting. What was that he did? The Bhagavatam says, Yo dustyajan darasutan. For a king, for any king, for a ruler, for a leader, what are the things which are most desirable for him? Most close to his heart, hridis prishaha, the closest things to the heart of a ruler, of a king, of a leader, of an emperor. What are they? Darasutan, his queen, his children, who are his heirs, who are going to succeed him. And not only that, for every man, for every human being, his family, his children, his wife, his husband, they are all dear ones. But for a king, not only his queen and his children are dear to him, Suhrid Rajyam, his kingdom, his citizens, his ministers, his army, these are also very dear. Imagine, Krishna forbid, because of Pahalgam, suppose there is a war declared between India and Pakistan. Krishna forbid. But for one instance, let us hypothetically think if such a situation arises, what happens? All common folk like us, may not be, I cannot speak about you, but I can speak about myself. My heart will be filled with fear. When some plane will come from Pakistan, when there will be a bomb. And if the government says that you are a man, come, we will conscript you into the army, you have to come and fight in the battlefield. I will run away, I will hide somewhere. I will not go into the battlefield, and I don't have that kind of courage. But a king, a leader, is one who will go to the battlefield and risk his life for protecting his kingdom and his citizens. So you see, for a king, his kingdom is even dearer to him than his own life. He is ready to risk his life, lay down his life for his kingdom. Suhrid Rajyam Hridis Prishaha. For a king, his kingdom is the dearest thing to him. So, for a king, he can give up his life, but not his kingdom, not his citizens, not his army, not his ministers. These things he cannot give up. But what did Bharata Maharaj do? Dustyajan Darasutan Jahau. He gave up all these things. He took sannyas. So one may think, what happened? Did the citizens rebel against him? Or his wife left him for another man? Or his children were fighting for the kingdom? Or his kingdom, everybody, all the opposition party, all the activists, they were all doing dharna against him. Step down, step down. None of those things were there. As I said earlier, the citizens looked upon Bharata Maharaj like their own father. And his wife was most loving to him. His children were most obedient to him. His ministers were most loyal to him. And so-called enemies, they could not even dare to think of opposing Bharata Maharaj. Forget about making a dharna and asking him to step down. That question never arose. So then why? What happened? Did he become too old? Was he diseased? Did he get some cancer or something like that? Jahau Yuvaiva, in the prime of his youth, Bharata Maharaj gave up all these things. Oh, for a king, young king, who is emperor of the whole world, and the whole world is subordinate to him willingly, lovingly. and he is in the prime of his youth. What more does a king need? He will, he can, if you or I were in his position, what will we think? Enjoy life to the hilt, isn't it? So, what happens is, God doesn't give everything to everybody. God gave Alexander a great kingdom, but he did not give him time to enjoy it. 30 years he conquered a vast kingdom, 33 years over, his life is over. But Bharata Maharaj was not like that. He was thousands of years ruling over the kingdom, and still he was in the prime of his youth. His senses were still potent and he was full of energy and vitality. And still he gave up his kingdom. So, how much painful it would have been for Bharata Maharaj. He must have been crying to give up his kingdom, his citizens, his most faithful and chaste and beautiful young queen, and his faithful and loyal citizens and ministers and children. How much it would have been painful for him. Can you all imagine for you to leave, if somebody forces you to take sannyas and you have to leave your family and come away, how much difficult it will be for you. So you can imagine a king like Bharata Maharaj, unrivaled emperorship over the whole world. He is renouncing his kingdom, his family, his citizens, everything. How he would have been? Was he crying? Was he desperate? Was he filled with anguish? Jahau yuvaiva malavad. Bhagavatam says, he gave up all these things which are hridisprisaha, which are closest to a king's heart. He gave up all this. How? Like a person gives up stool after evacuating. So how do we give up stool after evacuating? During the day, do we sit and think, what to do? In the morning I went today, I passed stool, entire thing I had to flush down the toilet. What a loss, oh my God. Today is a very bad day. Do we think like that? We never even think about it. The moment we finish our work in the toilet, step out, ho gaya, relief. And no more thinking about take bath and rush out. Right? I mean, over, it's liberation for us. Similarly, Bharata Maharaj gave up all these things. Can you imagine that? So why did Bharata Maharaj do this? What was the reason? I mean, he had everything in life. What we cannot even dream of, he had. Why did he do this? Uttama shloka lalasaha. Because he was greedy after something else. Lalasaha. In Hindi we say, no, lalach. Greed. He was greedy after something else. Normally we are greedy after family, after husband, after wife, after children. We want a good money, we want a good bank balance, we want to have a nice house. If it is a politician, he wants a good constituency, he wants a good state, he wants to have a good country. These are all things which we are all greedy after. But Bharata Maharaj was not greedy after any of these things. He was greedy after something else. What was he greedy after? Uttama shloka lalasaha. He was greedy after Krishna. He wanted to awaken his love for Krishna. He wanted Krishna's association. He was greedy to go back to the spiritual world. He was greedy to awaken his forgotten relationship with Krishna. He was greedy to awaken again his love for Krishna. And because of that greed, he left everything and became a renunciant. He became a sannyasi in the prime of his youth. So you can imagine, emperor of the whole world, unrivaled kingdom. He has taken sannyas and he is going out to the forest. What will he do in the forest? What did Bharata Maharaj do? Did he order his ministers and his army and all that? Look, I am renouncing the kingdom, I am going to the forest. So all of you first build a palace for me in the forest. And then nominate some 100 servants there and good cooks and all those kind of things, so that housekeeping, everything is taken care of when I go there. My food, my accommodation, my this one, all comfortable stay, all these things are taken care, and I can peacefully, I can sit and chant Om Shanti. Did Bharata Maharaj do that? Harau ratim vahannesha. What did Bharata Maharaj do after he renounced his kingdom? Harau ratim vahanesha. In his heart, he was He was immersed, his heart was immersed in love for Krishna. Harau ratim vahannesha. Narendranam shikamanihi. That crest jewel of all kings, of all emperors, Bharata Maharaj. After renunciation, what did he do? He did not create a big facility for himself so that he could live a peaceful, luxurious, comfortable, convenient life after sannyas. No. Aripuram atan, bhiksham atan aripure. He went around begging door to door. Because a sannyasi has to beg for alms. And he went door to door begging for alms. Imagine, Narendranam Shikhamanihi. He is the crest jewel of all emperors. Ruled over the whole world unrivaled. And he has to go door to door begging. And door to door begging, where did he go? To his allies, to his friends, so that they would respect him, take good care of him, and give him, without asking also, they will give amply to him. Bhiksham atan aripure. Ari means to one's enemies. He went even to the places, to the cities, to the kingdoms of his enemies. He did not discriminate. When I was an emperor, he was my ally, he was my friend, and this was my enemy. And if I go to my enemy's place now, he will take revenge. He will insult me. He will not give me any respect. So why should I go there? Like we also do that, right? Anybody we consider as our enemy, if somebody else comes and tells, let us go to his house, what will we say? His house I will not come. He is my enemy. I will not go to his house, right? So Bharata Maharaj did not discriminate like this. He said, whoever it is, no problem, I'll go and beg at his doorstep. So humble he had become. Bhiksham atan aripure, swapakam api vandate. Not only that, when he was going door to door, was he going and announcing that knock, 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 look who has come. I am Bharata Maharaj, Narendranam Shikamani, I am the crest jewel of all emperors. Come, come, I have come to your doorstep. You should be fortunate to come and give me bhiksha. Was he talking like that? And to whom did he go? Did he go to all the aristocrats, to all the, kingly royal people and beg from them? Swapakam api vandate. He went to even the people who were considered the lowest in the society at that time. Dog eaters. The flesh, anybody who eats the flesh of a dog is considered the lowest person in the society in Vedic times. So, in the society which was prevalent in that time, Bharata Maharaj, even when he saw even a dog eater, he would offer his obeisances to him. Imagine, this was the level of humility that Bharata Maharaj demonstrated. Why? Because Harau Ratim Vahannesha, in his heart, he was carrying love for Krishna. So this is not ordinary. Can any king dream of becoming a renunciant like Bharata Maharaj? Impossible. No king has dreamt of doing this. No king will ever dream of doing this also. That's the standard which Bharata Maharaj set. In a moment's notice, he left his kingdom, everything, and went to the forest without bothering about his family, about his kingdom, about his citizens, without discriminating who is friend, who is foe. He became a renunciant, greedy after Krishna. So in the Chaitanya Charitamrita and in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it is stated that this kind of renunciation is actually a subordinate symptom of a person who has, in whose heart, the seed of ecstatic love for Krishna has started sprouting. So it says that Kshantir avyartha kalatvam viraktir manashunyata ashabandha samutkantha namagane sadaruchihi asaktis tad gunakhyane pritis tad vasati sthale ityadayo anubhavaha sur jata bhavankure jane. Bhava ankura. In a person's heart, in whosoever heart, the ankura, the sprout, what has sprouted? Anubhavaha sur jata bhava ankure jane. In a person's heart where the ankura, the sprout of bhava bhakti has started growing. That means the seed of bhakti is sown in our heart, and when that seed starts sprouting, it has not grown into a plant or a tree and started giving fruit. The fruit is love of Krishna. The fruit has still not come, but the seed has just started sprouting. Immediately, 9 subordinate symptoms become manifest in that person. What are those 9 symptoms? First is kshantihi. The person becomes all forgiving. Avyartha kalatvam. He does not want to waste even 1 second without serving Krishna. Viraktihi. Renunciation of the highest order, which is demonstrated by Bharata Maharaj. Such renunciation ordinary people cannot demonstrate. The kind of renunciation which Bharata Maharaj demonstrated, that is referred to as virakti. Not only virakti, mana shunyata. Although he is virakta, he is renounced, mana shunyata, he is not looking for respect. Like Bharata Maharaj, what was he doing? Swapakam api vandate. Bhiksham aripure. He did not consider who will give me respect, who will not give me respect. He went even to the kingdom of his enemies, so-called enemies, and he was offering respect even to the most unrespected person in the society. So, viraktir, manashunyata, and ashabandaha, firm faith, hope in the heart that Krishna will bless me with love for him if I continue serving him. And samutkanta, great eagerness, uttama shloka lalasaha. How Bharata Maharaj was so greedy to possess Krishna consciousness that he left everything desirable by the greatest emperor. And he left everything and became a renunciant. So that kind of greed to possess. So that is called samutkanta. And then the namagane sadaruchihi, having taste to constantly chant Krishna's holy name. We are all used to chanting so many things. The moment we get an opportunity, all of us want to talk. We want to show our knowledge about what is happening in every corner of the world. Trump did this, Pahalgam this happened, Modi did this, Macron did this, somebody else did this, in Lanka this happened, that happened. We will talk about everything all over the world. But somebody in whose heart Bhava Ankura has sprouted, for him, Namagane Sadaruchihi, his taste is always in chanting Krishna's holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. For us, if we chant 16 rounds of this, ho gaya, finished, let us keep it aside. Appa, over, today 16 rounds. But Bhava Ankura, which has sprouted in a person's heart, Sada Namagane Ruchihi. He is thinking, why 16 rounds? Every second I should keep chanting Hare Krishna. And Asaktis Tad Gunakhyane. And if he has got an opportunity, he is greatly attached to glorifying Krishna. He will not speak about what happened all over the world. He will not speak about geopolitics. He will not speak about the latest sports event. He will not speak about some tragedy that happened somewhere else. He will talk only about the wonderful transcendental pastimes and the holy names and the glories of Krishna. And Pritis Tad Vasati Sthale. He wants to reside in a place. Where does he want to reside? We all want to reside in some place. We want this layout, we want that layout, we want to be in Jayanagar, we want to be in this one. We don't want to be in some slum layout, right? The more upscale, Sadashivnagar, some upscale layout like this, we'll be aspiring, let me move to that layout, let me move to this layout. Whatever I can afford the best with the money that I have. Now a devotee in whose heart Bhava Ankura has sprouted, he is not searching after upscale localities like that. He is looking for Pritis Tad Vasati Sthale. He is looking for places where Krishna performed his pastimes. He wants to reside in Vrindavan Dham. He wants to reside in Barsana. He wants to reside in Ayodhya. He wants to reside in Mathura. Or at least he wants to reside in the temple of Krishna. So these are the 9 symptoms, 9 subordinate symptoms. If you see them in a person, you can understand in his heart, Bhava Ankura has sprouted. The seed of Bhava Bhakti, ecstatic love for Krishna, has started sprouting in his heart. So that is why Bharata Maharaj was able to demonstrate such a high level of renunciation that Bhagavatam is saying, Makshikeva Garutmataha Manasapi Nripo. No emperor, no king can even dream of following the path of Bharata Maharaj. And if somebody even thinks of trying to imitate him, it will be like a fly trying to imitate the flight of Garuda Deva. So this is the glorious position of Bharata Maharaj, and therefore the world and today this country is known as Bharata. Not because Bharata Maharaj was such a powerful ruler, but because of the kind of renunciation he exhibited out of love for Krishna. And so, if we are born in this land and we want to call ourselves true Bharatiyas, that means true followers of Bharata Maharaj, we must also follow in his path. We must also take up bhakti for Krishna. Krishna Bhakti, we must take up Krishna consciousness as the highest goal in our life. We must become greedy to possess Krishna consciousness, not become greedy like the Western world, to have money, to possess a good girlfriend, to have a handsome boyfriend, to have a good job, well-paying job, 1 crore package a year, working in Google, working in Microsoft. That should not be what we are greedy after. We should be greedy after developing love for Krishna. And you see, in his footsteps, Parikhit Maharaj also followed. And that is what is being described here in today's verse. That Navayidam Rajarshivarya Chitram, all the sages are saying, Parikhit Maharaj, Na Chitram, this is not very astonishing what you have done, Parikhit Maharaj. What did Parikhit Maharaj do? That Shringi, the Brahmana boy, he cursed Parikhit Maharaj, in 7 days, Takshaka will come and bite you and you will burn to death. So what was Parikhit Maharaj's response? Oh, you are saying I will die? Okay, call my army. Let me fortify myself. Let all the doors of the fort be closed. Let every window, every door of my palace be guarded. Let me put on my armor and let me arm myself with all the weapons. Let me see which Takshaka will come and bite me. Did he respond like that? No, the first thing he did was, is it so? In the snap, in the time, with a fraction of a second it takes to snap your fingers, he left his kingdom, left his family, left his queen, left his children. Yo dustyajan darasutan suhrid rajam hridis prishaha. Left everything, went to the bank of Ganges in Shukratal and sat down there. And all the sages came running. Oh, the emperor of the world, Parikhit Maharaj, renounced his kingdom. He is sitting on the bank of the Ganges fasting unto death. In 7 days he is going to go. So all of them came to him. When Parikhit Maharaj was an emperor, he was ruling over in royal opulence, sages were not coming to him. Moment he renounced everything, they came to him. Ah, Parikhit Maharaj, wonderful, you have renounced everything. But this is not astonishing. Why? I mean, suppose today, hypothetically, let us say, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, he announces, I am going to become a sannyasi. What will happen? Whole world will shake up. Everyone will say, what happened? What happened? The whole media, nobody will talk about anything else. They will forget Gaza, they will forget Israeli war, they will forget Pahalgam, everything they will forget. Such a big thing it is. President of one small country. Imagine emperor of the world has left everything and he has given up everything and he is sitting fasting at the bank of the Ganga. I mean, it's something unprecedented. But the sages are saying, Na Chitram, it is not at all surprising for us. Why? Because Bhavatsu Krishnam Samanuvrateshu. O chief of all the saintly kings of the Pandu dynasty, you are born in the Pandu dynasty. Who were your grandfathers? Yudhishthira Maharaj, Arjuna, Bhima, the Pancha Pandavas, they were your grandfathers. You are in that dynasty. And what is special in this dynasty? They were all strictly in the line of Lord Krishna. And even the Pandavas, they underwent so many tribulations. They went to the forest in exile, Vanavasa. Then after that, Vanavasa, long Vanavasa, so many years, more than a decade of Vanavasa. They had to live incognito, Ajnatavasa for 1 year. And even after that, they did not get the kingdom. They had to fight the battle of Kurukshetra. Such a big war it was. Such a terrible war it was. And they had to fight against Bhishma, Drona, whom even Devatas cannot face in battle. They had to pass through all these adversities, challenges, and finally they got their kingdom. And after they got their kingdom, within a few years, Krishna left the planet. Moment Krishna disappeared, what did the Pandavas do? Immediately they left their kingdom and said, we are also leaving. They put Parikhit Maharaj on the throne and they also left. So this is a characteristic of the dynasty of Parikhit Maharaj. It is, therefore, they said, na chitram, it is not at all astonishing that you give up your throne, which is decorated with the helmets of many kings. That means you are having overlordship over so many other kings. You are not just a king in name, you are an emperor of the whole world. To him all the other kings come and bow down their heads which are decorated with golden crowns. You are such a great personality. But even though you are such a great king, you are following in the footsteps of your ancestors. You have done the right thing. You have renounced your kingdom. For what? Not for jnana, not for yoga, not for Ashtanga yoga, not to become a yogi, not to become a jnani, not to attain moksha, but for what? Sadhyo Jahur Bhagavat Parshvakamaha. You gave up your throne, which is decorated with the helmets of many kings, for what? To achieve eternal association with the personality of Godhead Krishna. Bhagavat Parshvakamaha. So this is the actual ultimate goal of life. If we have taken birth as a human being, that too in Bharatavarsha, our only desirable goal in life should be to develop love of Krishna, to go back to Krishna and to achieve eternal association with Him. This should be the goal of our life, and our heart should be filled with greed to achieve this. Not economic welfare, not to get a good job, not to migrate to the US and get a green card, and now, I don't know, something else, some new card has come up, $5 million you pay and get that card. These are not the aspirable things for us. Aspirable thing is to develop love for Krishna, to develop virakti, to develop renunciation, to develop detachment from this material world. And this was epitomized in the personality of great kings like Parikhit Maharaj, Bharata Maharaj and the Pandavas, which the Bhagavatam is mentioning. And Prabhupada in the purport is also talking of another great king like this, Prahlad Maharaj. Such wonderful prayers he submitted to Narasimha Deva. And he said, I am not afraid of this material world. I am afraid of, he is saying here, I am very much afraid of the materialistic way of life. I am not afraid, I am not least afraid of your present ghastly, ferocious feature as Narasimha Deva. He is not at all afraid. Small kid, 5-year-old kid, all the Devatas, Brahma, Shiva, when they saw the terrible, ferocious form of Narasimha Deva, decorated with a garland of what? Intestines of Hiranyakashipu. That is why he got the name Antaramali. Antara means the intestines, and Mali, he is decorated with a garland of intestines. Can you imagine that? Such a fierce form it is. And his mane, lion mane is splattered with drops of blood, and his whole body is covered with blood of Hiranyakashipu and all the asuras he has killed. Such a ferocious form. And his eyes are copper red with fury. So ferocious that even Brahma, Shiva, even they were afraid to go in front of him. So they all called Lakshmi Devi, you are his eternal consort. Chabi of a husband is in the hand of the wife. So you please go, you know how to pacify him. Lakshmi Devi said, Hare Krishna, not this form of my Lord I have never seen. I cannot go in front of him. Please let me go. So what to do now? Narasimhadeva's anger is not subsiding. And if his fury does not subside, he is going to burn the whole universe. What to do? Everyone is terrified. So then Brahma said, Prahlad, it is for you only, the Lord has become so ferocious, so you only go. They gave a garland in his hand. Imagine 5-year-old kid. Actually, children, sometimes they are so innocent, they cannot make out what is danger, what is not danger, they cannot make out. So Prahlad Maharaj also said, okay, you are telling me to go in front of him, I'll go. He went. He went and he is trying to garland Narasimhadev. Narasimhadev, his body is so huge, his mane is almost touching the cloud in the sky. And here is small Prahlad Maharaj trying to garland him with his small hands. Immediately, Narasimhadeva's all his anger melted away. And his eyes became filled with tears of love for Prahlad Maharaj. So Prahlad Maharaj, although even Shiva and Brahma were afraid of Narasimhadev, Prahlad Maharaj was not at all afraid. But although Prahlad Maharaj was not afraid of such a ferocious feature of Vishnu, he is saying, I am afraid of the materialistic way of life. Why? Because the materialistic way of life is like a grinding stone. Grinding stone where all of us are getting crushed. All of us are getting crushed in this grinding stone of the material life, where Kala is inexorably pushing us towards death every moment. And we are getting crushed by it. We have fallen into this horrible whirlpool of the tossing waves of life. And thus, my Lord, I pray at your lotus feet to call me back to your eternal abode as one of your servitors. So you see, repeatedly, this is emphasized in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Whether it is Prahlad Maharaj, who was the son of the king of the entire universe, whether it is Bharata Maharaj, who was the emperor of the whole world, whether it is the Pandavas, who ruled over the whole earth, whether it is Parikhit Maharaj, who inherited the whole earth from his grandfathers and he was unrivaled emperor for the whole world, whether it is you have the entire world at your disposal, entire universe at your disposal, none of these things are really desirable. What is desirable? What is the ultimate goal of life? The ultimate goal of life is to develop, to become a personal servant of Krishna in his supreme abode, Goloka Vrindavan. So this is the example being set by Parikhit Maharaj, and we should all learn from these examples of the Srimad Bhagavatam and develop the appreciation for the ultimate goal of life, of the human form of life. So I will stop here. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.